interrupt. Look at what's landing. The Airbus A380 is arriving. Ginger Chan's overhead in the helicopter. Look at that. What a sight.
Yeah, an amazing sight, as a matter of fact. Roughly about 500 people on board. I heard the flight was sold out coming here, as a matter of fact.
That's right. We have Ginger Chan in the helicopter and Eric Spillman on the ground. Who do we begin with? Let's talk to Eric first. Eric, I imagine there's a fair amount of excitement on the ground there.
There is. This plane has come to LAX on visits before, but this is the first commercial flight to LAX with paying passengers on board, and it makes a perfect landing here. This flight from Melbourne, Australia is really the beginning of a whole new age here at LAX, because this big plane will begin making a lot more frequent flights, various airlines, in the near future. Listen to it. It's actually not as loud as other big planes. That, believe it or not, is quieter than a 747. It's also a more fuel-efficient airplane. It carries 489 passengers, and they had to make all kinds of special upgrades here at the airport for this plane. Because it's a double-decker, you need special gates for it. So they're spending here at the airport something like $100 million on all the upgrades. They built a couple of gates for it at the Bradley terminal. Eventually, Qantas will have 3 flights a week from Australia, 2 from Melbourne, 1 from Sydney, 2 LAX, and other airlines will be joining soon. I guess Emirates also plans to fly it here as well. And this is a totally different thing that's going to help the economy, because we're at a time now when lots of airlines are canceling flights to LAX because of the economy, because of the cost of jet fuel. Now we have an airline, because of this new plane, that's adding flights. That means more money for the airport and more jobs. So there's a lot of excitement about the arrival of the A380 this morning, and there's a big ceremony planned for later in the day. Let's talk to Ginger Chan in the KTLA helicopter with more. Hi, Ginger.
Hi there, Eric, and this is something really exciting to see. We've been sitting over here on top of LAX just watching this thing come in, and you know those people are giving each other a high five and really excited about this. It's very interesting because as you're doing your report, I'm also listening to the tower, talking to the pilot who has that very thick Australian accent, and it's so lovely to listen to. He's just landed right here on runway 25 right, and he's going to taxi on over. I think he's going to go to the Tom Bradley International Airport, and they have kind of like a tiny little nickname for it, and it's called the Super is what they also call it. So that's what they've been kind of been talking to the tower, saying Super is landing here on the runway at LAX. So again, a big high five for all the people. I mean, this thing is massive. Eric, you were talking about earlier how much a first class ticket costs for something like this to grab a seat. First class ticket, $27,655. Yeah, I don't think any of us here can afford it, but I know those people very lucky here to be landing. And I think maybe some of these people a little sad that they've landed, because you know that this has been an awesome experience for them traveling from Melbourne, landing here at LAX. Michaela was mentioning about some of the overcast skies and the fog that we have here. No factor whatsoever. We've been sitting here for some time. Again, this is a very, very exciting thing for these people. They're going to have a big press conference and more high fives later on as we continue to watch this humongous plane taxiing on over. We'll send it back to you ladies in the studio.
All right, that is very cool. I was just commenting to Mark that, you know, nice way to start it out. Its first flight here to LAX, and about 8 minutes early.
Early is good.
We're supposed to be on time at around 7:30, so it's nice to start out on a.
But now that it is in early, they'll probably taxi it on the runway for a while, going, we don't have a gate available for you right now. You're going to have to sit there and wait. $27,000. Ash and I just made a $10 bet.
Yes, we did.
Because they do have these luxury suite on board with a double bed and everything. I say $27,000 is just a regular first class ticket. Asha says it probably gets you that suite.
Money. So there it is, the A380 Qantas arriving from Melbourne, Australia this morning. I believe it was runway 25 right. So there you go at LAX.
Wow,
it's good to see.
I wonder, and we got to ask Eric Spillman, are any of the American airlines going to, you know, like United or American Airlines, or are they going to buy those?
Yeah, I think he mentioned one.
He did?
Right?
Oh, really? Okay.
So.
All right.
Check it on.
I know you were paying attention.
Still ahead, the Los Angeles Times endorses Barack Obama for president. Coming up, we're going to talk with the head of the paper's editorial pages to find out why the Times made its first endorsement in more than 3 decades.
Also, Kurt the Cyber Guy joins us with tips on getting highbrow fashion for low, low prices. Back in just a second.
It's a new first for Los Angeles International Airport as the world's largest passenger airplane lands just moments ago. KTLA's Eric Spillman has been live at the scene, and he is there now to tell us more about the arrival of the A380. Eric?
Hey, good morning, Michaela. There it is, the Airbus A380 looking to pull up to one of the gates here at the LAX Bradley terminal. It should be pulling up in just a few minutes. It's got a full load of passengers on board. This is the inaugural commercial flight to LAX with this aircraft. Let me show you the landing, which took place just a few minutes ago. Picture perfect landing, a little bit foggy here, but that didn't matter. The pilot did a great job. This aircraft flying nonstop from Melbourne, Australia, here to LAX with as many as 489 passengers on board. This plane, of course, this type of aircraft has made visits to LAX in the past, tests and so forth. This is the first time it's actually flown paying customers on board. Coach class tickets cost $1,000. For the luxury suite, which includes a double bed, you're paying $27,000 round trip to fly from Australia. This is a whole new era of air travel, they're saying. Here at LAX, this type of aircraft will soon be making regular flights, several flights a week. Qantas will bring it several times a week from Australia. Other airlines will follow. It brings a lot of money and a lot of jobs to this airport at a time when most airlines are cutting back. My question, though, let's say you're on board this plane. There's 489 passengers on board. Let's say everybody's got 2 pieces of checked luggage. Let's say you're unlucky. You go to the baggage carousel. You have to watch as 999 pieces of luggage roll by before you find your piece of luggage. That, to me, would be the one drawback of such a large aircraft. Send it back to you in the studio for now.
Yeah, that's definitely a downside. All right, Eric, exciting times as that Airbus A380 arrives here at LAX. Just a short while ago, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke began testifying